create your hybrid cloud? Second here on Premier League Live. In the meanwhile, I need to take stock of where we are so far. Villa beating Newcastle 3-0. Man City Leicester to come in about an hour and a half. But 1-1 in our featured game, Chelsea Brighton. 1-1 Everton Fulham. Goalless Southampton Crystal Palace. 1-0 Wolves Brentford. 1-0 Spurs Bournemouth. That's still playing. This is a delayed start. But let's bring you bang up to date with all of the other 3 p.m. UK goals as they flew in on Premier League Live. Chelsea are on the attack here. Mudryk to Gallagher, takes a deflection, and it's in from Conor Gallagher. Excellent run from Mudryk right through the heart of the Brighton midfield. Gallagher let rip, didn't in truth get all of it, but it took a wicked ricochet, and that was enough to take it past Sanchez into the net. And as the sun beams down, are things starting to finally turn for Chelsea. It's Chelsea 1, Brighton 0.
Wilson inside, fires a shot in, Pickford diving in, hits the base of the post, Reed again, 1-0!
Fatta e come, soprattutto poi quando sono entrati.
doesn't get in the starting 11 is not really up for the fight. But this Brighton squad seems to be completely up for the fight. Now, if I was De Zerbi or Lampard going into the second half, I'd rather be De Zerbi than Lampard, because what I saw in the first.
Chelsea 2 this one. That's changed to a degree with that goal as Mudryk burst down the left-hand side early in the second half, but the Ukrainian overhits his cross. At least they've avoided failing to score in 4 straight league games. That hadn't happened since 2007. That's something for Chelsea, whose captain Kepa picks up the ball as Enciso tries a little through ball that's overhit and straight into the gloves of the Spaniard. Kepa, captain of Chelsea, in goal today, with Badia Shield, Chalobah, Fofana and Chilwell at the back, Gallagher, Fernandez and Zakaria in midfield, Pulisic, Sterling and Mudryk leading the line, Mendy, Kovacic, Aubameyang, Felix, Mount, Ziyech, James, Azpilicueta and Cucurella your bench for Chelsea today. A minute gone of the second half, 1-1. I'll run you through the Brighton lineup in a moment, as McAllister played it in field to Enciso, didn't quite work out. Link play not quite working with Caicedo on that occasion, out of play. Rob Sanchez in goal. Now, right back is Pascal Gross, with Dunk, Webster and Estepinian at the rest of the back four. Caicedo's been joined by Enciso in midfield, with March, McAllister and Mitoma supporting Welbeck, the goal scorer, up top. Rest of the bench, McGill, Undav, Gilmore, Van Hecke and then Buonanotte, Afire and Moran, the youngsters. Just for a moment there, Chelsea were happy to let the ball almost trickle along their own goal line. Kepa and Wesley Fofana. The ball smacked downfield just shy of halfway, where Brighton will take the throw in. As Trevor rightly said, their orangey red away kit. It's exactly what it is. The blues against the orangey reds. I quite like it, even though it's a hard colour to quantify.
Yeah, it's a little bit salmonish, isn't it?
Hint of pink in there, just like Trevor's glad rags. Shot from distance. On target from Enciso, comfortably saved by Kepa Arrizabalaga, low to his right. We stay 1-1. Would you pop out for the night wearing that?
I have done in the past. I can't deny it.
Good lad. 47 gone. We stay 1-1. Half time now, by the way, in our delayed game. Spurs 1-1, as we heard, as the ball is given away again. Here's Welbeck from distance, on target. Slipping Danny Welbeck as he got his shot away. Just checking that Bournemouth Tottenham half time, and I looked away for half a second, and in that time Kepa's clearance was awful. It was blocked by Caicedo, and as he slipped, Welbeck nearly poked it in. Kepa straight down the throat of the Ecuadorian. That was an awful clearance.
It's what I said, that he's got these errors that you never know when they're going to appear. And there was another one, could have been so dangerous, particularly the start of the second half. The last thing you want to do is concede.
Got away with it. Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 1 at half time. Back underway elsewhere. Wolves leading Brentford 1-1 in our game, 1-1 Everton Fulham. Still goalless at the moment, Southampton Palace. Villa with that thumping 3-0 win against Newcastle earlier. And as we've been chatting about, Man City, Leicester to come at 5:30. Mitoma as far as Welbeck, who cuts inside Fofana, left edge of the penalty area. Clever reverse pass. Here's Estepinian who lets rip, and that's a really good block from Zakaria. One of the few good things that the on-loan Swiss has done. Really nice interplay from Brighton once more, and Zakaria read the danger, came surging back and made a critical block at the expense of a corner.
Again, it's this left flank, isn't it? The issues are happening. Chalobah and Fofana getting a mix-up. Brighton's movement's really, really good. And eventually Estepinian, who's been making those runs all afternoon, almost gets in on goal.
Solly March will take the corner, 49 gone, 1-1, Premier League live. Fofana to partial safety, picked up by Estepinian to March again, to Gross. Nice turn from Pascal Gross, but finding himself on the left this time. Just tried to arch his body and get across him, but just slightly off balance.
Yeah, but there is a feel about the second half that replicates the first, that Brighton are dominating. Chelsea need to get a grip, need to get that midfield grip, and they've got some decent players in there.
Fernandez over the top to Chilwell, thought about the shot, kept going, and by the time he decided to deliver the ball, Ben Chilwell, he kind of left it too late. He was right up against the dead ball line, comfortably saved by Rob Sanchez from an acute angle, and Chilwell, for his trouble, ends up in the advertising hoarding.
He's got a licence to get forward on the left, and Enzo does find him with a good pass, a diagonal pass, but he was under a bit of pressure and doesn't connect well with the cross.
Lewis Dunk with the ball deflected off for Conor Gallagher's opener much earlier in the game. Slowly edges his way forward. In the end, though, his ball to Welbeck was poor. It was telegraphed and Fofana read it, made the interception, but all Wesley Fofana could then do was play the ball to Adam Webster, the other Brighton centre half. Player down and in pain is Estepinian, who I think has just been fouled by Chalobah. Chalobah goes into the book, stuck out his right boot, made contact with the ankle of the Ecuadorian, and another player in the book and another Brighton free kick.
Yeah, clumsy challenge from Chalobah. He's had a tough match. We know he's trying to fill in a right back, but that's just poor judgment. He was never going to get that ball. He was overstretching.
Prince Henry Cafidua saying, enjoying your magnificent commentary, boys. Thanks for that. I'm still confident that Chelsea will win today. So Prince Henry and Garner backing his boys to get the job done. I'll have to wait and see. And Core Q on the Everton game says, we survived Rafa, so we're used to this feeling. Still such a long way to go.
It's going to be a long, what have we got left? 2 months, have we?
Yep.
In this season?
Yep, about 8 games roughly for most teams. 8 or 9. 51 gone here, 1-1 at TalkSport Live. Keep your tweets coming in as Chelsea try to counter. Slightly fortuitous build-up, but they'll take it. Infield from Sterling, trying to find Pulisic, but asking too much of the American there. That was a fairly lacklustre counter from Chelsea. Brighton win it back comfortably through Mitoma. Infield to McAllister. And now it's the Seagulls forward again. The excellent Alexis McAllister to Welbeck. Caicedo, Webster, slick one-touch passing from Roberto De Zerbi's men. Through ball, looking for Estepinian. Up against the man who fouled him a second ago, Trevor Chalobah. Off Chalobah, back to his goalkeeper, Kepa. And he's more than happy to belt that one downfield. Corky just sent a picture of himself working in a tyre factory as well as he listens to our output. Very nice. Here's Sterling, another slight ricochet that fell Chelsea's way briefly. Always dangerous when you think you're fouled and pick the ball up before the referee blows his whistle. That's what Caicedo did. Enzo Fernandez is furious, but Brighton do get the decision. They do get the free kick, but it's a risky one to pick that ball up.
He was pretty confident though, wasn't he, that he had been fouled, and the referee does.
Or does he force a decision by doing it?
Who's to know? I mean, was the referee influenced by that? I don't know.
Well, it worked either way, Trev, and here come Brighton through the excellent Mitoma. Infield, taken in his stride beautifully. What a save from Kepa once more. Ball is loose. Two players get in each other's way, Welbeck and Marsh. By goodness, that could have easily been a goal. Mitoma as far as Enciso. Great save. It's come loose again. Marsh again puts the cross in through the left edge of the 6-yard box, blocked by the Chelsea defence. That nearly found Enciso as well, but it's been bumbled behind by the Blues for a corner. Brighton, 3 opportunities within the same move for a goal.
I said it 5 minutes ago. Chalobah and Fofana have got absolutely no relationship on this football field today. Mitoma has been terrific, and he has embarrassed them on this left-hand side. And it should have been a goal once again. Kepa makes a save.
Coming up to 54 gone. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. All Brighton again. Corner to be taken by Pascal Gross on the far side. Outswinger looking for Dunk. Can't quite get there. Estepinian, though, reacts quickest to the loose ball. Gets there ahead of his old mate Chalobah. By the time he shot, Gallagher made the block.
He kind of broadcast that one, didn't he? You could see it coming. But, again, Brighton are just showing why they are in the position in the league that they are. There's no fluke in this at all. They've got good players who play well together.
Yep, completely agree with you. But another goal in the Everton-Fulham game, and finally a goal in the Southampton-Palace game as well. We'll take it to both of those as soon as the ball goes dead. The sun had poked behind the clouds for a little while, but it's come back out now in West London, which is beautiful. Stamford Bridge is a sun-soaked place again, as Enciso surges forward for Brighton. Can Brighton quieten the home fans once more? Gross through to Welbeck. That was the combination that equalised. Welbeck, head up, still running. Nice play. Left edge of the box now to Mitoma. Back to Welbeck. Tries to open up his boot. Curl one into the far corner. Blocked. Picked up by Estepinian, out of play. We'll take this opportunity to go first of all to Goodison Park. We'll take you back to Everton Fulham, that was 1-1.
Willian lays it back. Real chance for Wilson. It's 2-1. Oh, Fulham out of nowhere take the lead. Harry Wilson on 51 minutes has put Fulham back in front after Everton's supremacy.
Oh, Andrew Self with the call there, and I just looked at Trevor's face. Back behind, mate. More worries for your boys.
I'm worried. I am worried for them. Can't hold on to a lead. They scramble their way back into a game, but can't get a footholding in it. And Fulham have been a little bit off the boil. I was worried that they were going to refine their form today, and it looks like they might be doing that.
And isn't Harry Wilson ex-Liverpool growing up, just to make it all the worse as well?
I believe so.
Corky was now kicked the tyres over. He was working on in frustration at what's happened to his beloved team. Okay, we will quickly take you while some subs happen here to St Mary's. It was goalless Southampton Crystal Palace.
To Ayew, who chests it down on the left, gets away from Maitland-Niles, drills it across, surely, and it's in! Crystal Palace, second best throughout the entire first half, have taken the lead through Eze. Ebe Eze, back in the goals again.
You said what a good player he is, and I fully agree. Great to hear from Toby Gillis there. Eberici Eze.
Yeah, every manager who picks a team at any club have got their own choices to make, and for Vieira, Eze wasn't a starter. For Roy Hodgson, he has been, and he continues to be, and that confidence that he's been given is showing itself in goals and assists.
Quadruple substitution by Chelsea. Quadruple sub on Mateo Kovacic, Reece James, João Felix, Hakim Ziyech, off go Christian Pulisic, Raheem Sterling, Wesley Fofana and Enzo Fernandez. Wow, we'll come to that in a second. Brighton immediately back on the attack at the resumption of play through the tireless Mitoma. He is blocked on this occasion, and the ball is back to halfway. Dunk decides to go back to his keeper Sanchez. Quadruple sub. Well,
Reece James immediately goes into the right back role. Chalobah moves into the middle, so Chelsea have got rid of that problem, because it was a huge problem for them in that part of the field. And it tells you something, doesn't it, when that many changes are made, that things are absolutely going wrong on the field.
So Kovacic, I guess, is effectively like for like with Fernandez, and then two of those slightly anonymous players up front, I hate to say, Pulisic and Sterling, replaced by Ziyech and Felix. Those your changes, but at the moment it's not Chelsea on the front foot, it's Brighton again, as Gross finds March, worked his way past one player, did well to react and get there just ahead of the second. McAllister in field, Estepinian lets rip, low drive, dragged just wide of target. I think Kepa would have got there had it been on target, as it was. This Estepinian about yard and a half wide of goal.
He had all the time in the world to hit that, and where's the pressure on him? There was none, and he's only 2 yards outside the penalty area, and just a poor hit from him. So he'd be really annoyed at himself that he didn't hit the target.
So 4-1 in October at Brighton, 1-1 here at the moment. Brighton looking to do their first ever double over Chelsea in the league, and they're still the team creating the majority of chances. Chelsea winless in 4 in the league, with a draw and 3 defeats. Only won 1 of 14 Premier League games this season, the Blues, against teams in the top half of the table, which is a far cry from Chelsea at their title winning and European champion best. Could go to 10th with a win today, but with Fulham, their neighbours, winning at the moment at Goodison, even that looks unlikely. Chelsea pushing the ante, giving the ball away again. Brighton surging downfield through Enciso, who's done quite brilliantly there. He's beaten 2 players. Enciso off the post and over the bar from an off-balance Danny Welbeck. How on earth then Cisse managed to win that, I don't know. Loads of power on the crossfield ball. He ran, kept it in, then cut inside 2 Chelsea defenders. And somehow it doesn't go in from him or from the rebound from Welbeck.
I mean, what are Chelsea doing defensively? And it's Reece James who makes an error here. He says to Chalobah, I've got it, but neither of them get it in the end. And Cisse slams the ball into the post at the front post, goes past Kepa's right hand shoulder. It comes out. Welbeck just has to nudge it into the goal. It's open goal. And unfortunately, Welbeck's been known for those kind of things in his game, not being the most clinical of finishers.
I mean, he didn't have much time at all
It was tough.
in real time to react in his defence. And Cisse smacks the post and it's straight on him at pace. But I agree, he probably should have found a way to have got it in and not over. So they've hit the bar through Ferguson, now the post through Enciso. That's let alone all the misses and saves as well. 1-1. In swinging delivery from Gross, headed clear by Chalobah, but only as far as McAllister, edge of the D. Through ball, well controlled this time by Welbeck, but in a way too little too late when it came to that other chance. Reece James on to Ziyech, who's come on. Gallagher has no options in front of him and has to go back to Kepa, who moments ago saw his post rattled by Julio Enciso, and somehow the ball stay out. Incredible. 1-1 with just over an hour gone on Premier League Live. Crystal Palace still that goal up at Southampton. Fulham still 2-1 up at Everton. Still 1-1 Tottenham Bournemouth in a game that kicked off 15 minutes late. Still Wolves 1, Brentford 0. Villa 3, Newcastle 0 earlier. Man City Leicester to come with Tom Rennie and Eddie McGoldrick. In about an hour and 10 minutes time we'll have team news from that one, published in 10 minutes, and full details from Tom at just after 5 o'clock UK. Brighton 70% possession, Trevor, and 20 shots in the game. 20 to Chelsea's 3.
Oh, those numbers are just so not Chelsea, aren't they? That's not a Chelsea home performance. 30% of possession.
3 shots.
You know, I'm looking at Caicedo and McAllister in midfield. They're absolutely running it.
Great play from Mitoma here as well to Enciso. Back to Mitoma. This is glorious. Mitoma, another ricochet off Chalobah, and this time into the gloves of Kepa, who didn't know too much about it. Another really nice, incisive, beguiling move from Brighton and Hove Albion. So close to taking the lead.
It looks to me like a sleepy, half-hearted performance really from Chelsea. They're not doing enough individually as players to close things down, get involved in the match. No responsibility being taken.
Ziyech has just been dispossessed, is calling for the free kick, which he doesn't get. 1-2 between McAllister and Welbeck. Back to McAllister, tried to shoot, just couldn't quite get his shot away. Moments later, ball given away. Plaintive attempts to claim a foul, waved away, and Brighton not too far away again.
Yeah, but you know what they say, when you're so dominant in a game, you've got to make use of that period of time. And it's been the majority of the game, I have to say, for Brighton, but they haven't scored. They haven't scored that goal, that second goal that they need.
Dunk forward as far as Enciso, who's like a man possessed, the Paraguayan. My goodness, takes the ball around Zakaria. Now dinks it in looking for Mitoma. He chests it down, the Japanese, thought about shooting. Goes back instead to Caicedo, who's got Gallagher on him, did well there, found Kovacic. He's then dispossessed but was fouled in the process, and I think that is probably fair enough. As Mateo Kovacic won that ball with the help of Gallagher, he probably was caught as he brought first forward.
Chelsea are relieved they can take a breath because they can't get anywhere near the ball, and that foul from Caicedo, he just delayed it too long, then the ball runs a little bit free and he fouls Kovacic. But Chelsea cannot find a way into getting up the field.
At TalkSport Live, keep your tweets coming in. Shannon Blythe, beautiful day in Lower Alabama, heading out for a run while I listen to the best. Moving to Georgia this summer, and finally can see a game live in Atlanta. I can't wait. Come on, guys, I invite you all over for a TalkSport Live pool party. Shannon's saying, come on in, the water's lovely. Shannon will join you. Trev, you up for that? Pool party?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, any party I'll go to.
I've been out with you, mate. I've seen what you like. The great Trevor Stephen. Shannon, we're in. Thank you for the invite. And Adam Richardsville saying, listening from the farm in Indiana on a bright sunny day. I'm loving the agony that my buddy Joel has been going through as a Chelsea fan. I'm hoping that my team, Man City, win big later on. Adam, thank you very much. At TalkSport Live, keep your tweets coming in around the world. We'll read out a few more between now and the end of our 3 p.m. kickoffs. It's always a pleasure, isn't it, Trev, to bring the league to the world, and we've got so many great fans nestled around the globe.
Yeah, and this league is an amazing league, and we've seen a different one this year as well. We've got a great fight at the top, but at the bottom end of the table. Never seen anything like it before.
No, absolutely. And there's been another goal in the Southampton Palace game, one of those that is crucial at the bottom. It was 1-0 Palace. We'll take you back to Toby Gillies in a moment.
Robert Sanchez did very well twice because he clawed the first one away, but only as far.
Robert well in the second half. Mudryk
the first one away,
shot,
but only
Sanchez then saved that.
As a man we barely mentioned in the second half,
one of the new men who's come onto the field.
Shot.
That was Sanchez then saved that. Header from distance now from one of the new men who's come onto the field. That was. So look at who that even was. Was that João Felix?
No, it was actually Chilwell.
Goodness me, it was Chilwell. It's all happening. Ben Chilwell up from the back, and he heads wide.
Yeah, it was Chilwell gets himself into these positions. And there's a good link up for the first time by Ziyech and Reece James. Mudryk's shot is blocked, and eventually Chilwell's header goes wide.
That second save particularly was an excellent one. Oh dear, they tried to play out from the back to Brighton and nearly get in trouble. Misunderstanding between Dunk and Caicedo. Ball pinged around, was painfully loose. Kovacic slid in to try and win it. It was blocked. They live to fight another day to Brighton, maybe overplaying slightly at the back there before they work it back down into the Chelsea half.
Yeah,
that was maybe excessive endeavour.
That was it, just overplaying it, and Sanchez should not have played that short, allowed Kovacic to get a challenge on Caicedo. Eventually, though, the ball is cleared up by Lewis Dunk, but Brian, I've got to be careful about that. You know, they can't disrespect Chelsea.
Having headed wide a moment ago, Chilwell is involved in a serious head-to-head tussle in the far corner with Solly March. Kovacic is still unhappy about what happened playing out from the back. Dunk was the one who dallied. I agree it wasn't great probably to have been given the ball in the first place, but yeah, Dunk and Kovacic really both committed to that loose ball, weren't they? And Dunk coming away with it, but pressure that Brighton didn't need to put themselves under, as you've just alluded to.
Yeah. If you take the focus off any split second in the Premier League, you get punished. But as I said at half time, that Brighton have really been the strongest team, and it's shown to be that in the second half as well.
Free kick for that foul from Chilwell on the far side by Brighton. Infield to the unmarked McAllister. Now to Caicedo. Over
colours.
More good business maybe from Brighton. Corner from Solly March, who's had an outstanding season as well. Webster flicks it on to Mitamaru, who's gone down under pressure with the challenge from Chalobah. No foul. Ball kept in play on the far side. 68 gone. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1 as McAllister finds Pascal Gross. Left-footed ball. Flicked on by March. And that one is just about won back by Chelsea. Dunk was in an advanced position, couldn't win it. João Felix surging forward, the man on loan from Atletico Madrid. The Portuguese claimed a foul, but to me just ran into trouble. Trevor lost it. James won it back, then Brighton win it back off him through March. Here's Enciso! Oh, Enciso into the corner! Incisive from Enciso, just brilliant! Chelsea could do nothing about it. Kepa was a passenger. Enciso has been lights out since he came on, and the Paraguayan laps up the adulation of his teammates, of the fans in the corner. Chelsea 1, Brighton 2.
I mean, this lad starts as a substitute, and he comes on and makes an impact. even before that amazing strike into the top corner, he has been sensational. He has not given the ball away. He's been absolutely adventurous with his play. He could not have struck that any better from 25 yards. He absolutely slammed it into the top corner. He had no options. And you were just mentioning about Felix. No Chelsea player offering an option on the ball for too long. They get the ball back. He was get the ball back. They had no more than they deserved. There was no Chelsea player offering an option. They get the ball back.
Yeah, James and Felix could definitely have done better in the build-up between them, no question. It's fed to Enciso. We're talking 30, 35 yards out. Could definitely have done better in the build-up between them, no question. It's fed to Enciso, which is then 30, 35 yards out. So sweet, so pure, that strike into the top corner. And Trevor, I love it. After the celebrations we've just described, he's just taken like a theatrical bow to the audience, like a stage performer at the end of the celebrations we've just described. He's just taken like a theatrical bow to the audience, like a stage performer at the end of the set.
He looks a player. This lad looks a player. Enciso.
Absolutely. Remember that name if you didn't know it before. So Brighton now lead. Absolutely. Brilliant. 2-1.
So much for Frank Lampard's 4 changes.
So Brighton now lead at Chelsea.
There's been 2-1. So much for Frank Lampard's 4 changes.
So is it going to be 14 defeats in 17 in the Premier League this season for Lampard as a boss across Everton? So is it going to be Chelsea 14 defeats in 17 in the Premier League this season for Lampard as a boss across Everton and Chelsea? That's going to be, we're not sure. Everton did have Chelsea some uplift when Sean Dyche came in. Quite how come in. It's just saying that's going to be, we're not sure, for a team of their lofty standards. Almost no uplift. Tell you that Fulham, who were 2-1 up at Everton, been another, I'm afraid, for a team of their lofty standards. We'll take you back to that as soon as we can. Were 2-1 Palace have got another at Southampton as well, so they're now 2 up. Sorry, Trevor. We'll bring you Andrew Southampton to that as soon as we can. Palace have got another at Southampton as well, so they're now 2 up. Brentford as well. Wow. We'll Andrew South and Toby Gillies looking very much like Wolves and Palace's day. Wolves have now doubled their lead against Brentford as well. Wow. At the foot of the table. And very much another goal as well. Palace's day. As the 2 strugglers who are winning at the foot of the table. Spurs Bournemouth. And there's been another goal as well. To that one and in the Spurs Bournemouth match. We'll take him back to that one and 2. To that one and delayed by 15 minutes. Tim Long when we can too. Of course, delayed by 15 minutes. 2-1 here to Brighton, who was surging forward through Welbeck. Was he fouled? Appeals 2-1 here to Brighton, who was surging forward through Welbeck. Was he fouled? Appeals for potentially a free kick on this occasion. In the end, the offside flag, Trevor's gone up on the far side, so no dice for Brighton on this occasion.
They're still pressing. 1 or 2 passes that Chelsea can muster. Chelsea cannot pressure them down. Midfield, 1 or 2 passes that Ciro McAllister and Cecil has contributed into the penalty area. Who gets to really strong on his bike, still gets doing a great job on the right and into the penalty area.
Headline team news ahead of our evening game while we attend to another injury here. Unsurprisingly, Haaland leads the headline team news ahead of our evening game. Grealish, Mahrez, Rodri and Bernardo all playing behind. Interesting match. That is no Barnes very underused season. Vardy starting up top as well. Wow, it's going to be a really interesting match. That is no Barnes injured. Vardy starting up top as well. Wow, Jamie Vardy.
If he gets 3 touches in the game, do you know that's what you do. You've got to do that these days. Set up just to frustrate them for long enough. And hope you make one from that's what you do. You've got to do that.
Which has happened, as you rightly say, frustrate them for long enough. But and hope you make one at the moment. Anyway, that's the late game. Here it's still 2-1 Brighton. Let's take it. Some of those goals. We'll take it first of all to the fourth goal at Goodison Park. Here it's still 2-1 Brighton. Let's take it to some of those goals. We'll take it first of all to the fourth goal at Goodison Park. Everton Fulham fans start waving at the Merseysiders. Dan James makes it 3-1. Dan James firing in that one. Goodness me. Now, as I mentioned, there'd been another goal in the firing in that one. That was 1-1 against Bournemouth. As I mentioned, there'd been another goal in the Tottenham game.
Takes it down halfway inside the Tottenham half, plays it forward, jinking in behind Sanchez, has to make a Solanke, takes it down halfway inside the Tottenham half, plays it forward, jinking in behind
Dominic Solanke, Bournemouth lead at Spurs, Trevor.
Into the back of the net by Solanke.
Dominic Solanke, Bournemouth lead at Spurs, Trevor.
Well, I've not fancied Spurs all season, and this is typical Spurs. No, they went ahead in this game as well.
Goals,
they went ahead in this game as well.
Score goals, could that be what keeps Molyneux for those further goals there? In a moment as well as we tick there, in a moment as well as we tick here on Premier League Live. We're still here on Premier League Live. 2-1 up at Chelsea. Still Brighton to that 2-1 up at Chelsea. Marvel. Thanks to that moment of Marvel. Here's Mudryk from Enciso forward. Here's Mudryk. Takes it around Pascal Gross. Now to Ben Chilwell. Pascal Gross. Brighton doing so much good work without the ball there. Busting along to get back those Brighton players. Four of them are back. Those Brighton players. Four of them are back. Long. In the end, Mudryk can do his cross. Estepinian. Ball goes out of play. Chelsea do get a throw out of it. Goes out of play. Chelsea do get a throw out of it again. Not massively convincing an attack again.
That was hitting Mudryk from way out. The ball just into an area. Way out. And there's no Chelsea player anywhere near it. And there's no Chelsea player anywhere near it.
Head up, Blues 2-1 down. Head up, Blues 2-1 down. What can they do from here? 5 without defeat in the league. 7 in all comp. 5 without defeat in the league. 7 in all against Spurs. Last time out. Defeat against Spurs. Last time out. Back-to-back defeats once all season. Back-to-back defeats once. De Zerbi, Trevor, last 12 games. De Zerbi, Trevor, last 12 games. Won 6. Drawn 4. Very impressive. Very impressive. 1, 2, 3 games in hand of some of the teams above them. 3 games in hand of some of the teams above them. As they still look back on the attack here though through Mateo Kovacic. Mudryk. About 25, 30 yards out. Head up for the Ukrainian. 30 yards out. Head up massively over here. Powerful through ball. Massively over here. I'm not entirely sure what Mason Mount is supposed to do with that. I'm not entirely sure what Mason Mount is supposed to do with that. It's like an exocet missile being fired at it.
Yeah, it's desperate from Chelsea. They've run out of ideas. And De Zerbi's got a fantastic thing going on as far as when Chelsea get into their half, into the Brighton half, they go so narrow and almost have 4 layers of defence and no wider than the penalty area. In fact, considerably less wide than the penalty area.
So Mount has just come on, by the way, a moment ago for Denis Zakaria. So Zakaria's game does come to an end about 2 minutes ago for Mount. And his first touch is literally to have the ball booted at his head from 3 yards away. Mount back for the first time, by the way, since February. Injuries, contractual uncertainty, rumours of fallings out. Who knows? Not with Frank anyway, so he's back.
Well, I've just had a looking at the screen there, and Todd Bowley's been pictured. Does not look a happy man. There's every reason not to feel happy about what's happened there.
But when you've made a £4.25 billion investment into this,
and you haven't got a centre forward. I mean, the argument is there? What is going on? What is going on?
Yeah,
the game is about goals, isn't it?
No, you're absolutely spot on, Trevor. 77 gone. Chelsea 1, Brighton 2. Chelsea playing some pretty football. Trouble is, it's in their own penalty area. Benoit Badiashile, the Frenchman, downfield. Kept in play though by Solly March, who finds Welbeck, who apart from missing that one very good chance when it ricocheted back to him off the post, has played mightily well. He now beats Badiashile by the far corner flag. Flicked on by Enciso, looking for McAllister. Gallagher makes the interception. Darn good job he did, otherwise McAllister would have had free rein at goal. As it was, Gallagher blocked him. Kovacic tries to bring the ball out, but the Croat is then dispossessed. McAllister gets a little bit carried away and tries some kind of flick over his own head, which I think was a bit extreme. It's all happening.
It is, and we're seeing Brighton now dig deep to keep this result as it is. And they do deserve to be in this 2-1 lead, there's no doubt.
But here come Chelsea through Mudryk. Clever ball over the top. It's cut back. It's behind Felix. Shot from distance from Mount, but he was falling. And it's miles over the bar and out of play. And while that ball's retrieved, we will take you back to those other goals. Was 1-0 Palace at Southampton last time we checked in with Toby Gillis.
Eze! Oh, super! Low drilled strike from 25 yards!
Excellent work from Eberici Eze. 2 goals for him. Trevor quite right to highlight the former QPR man. So 2-0 Palace. Off to Molyneux in a moment, but here's Kovacic to Gallagher for Chelsea inside the penalty area. Clever 1-2 with Chalobah, but as Gallagher tried to get his shot away, took too long, was dispossessed, and then as Lewis Dunk brings it clear for Brighton, he's tripped, and Brighton not only win the ball back, but win a free kick in some precious moments with about 11 to go. Foul by Hakim Ziyech.
Yeah, well, you know, it's typical of players who have no confidence, is that they're hesitant. And Conor Gallagher there had the opportunity just to get his foot round the ball, get the ball on target, but decided he didn't have the confidence to do that. Had to take a first touch, and by the time he'd done that, the opportunity was over.
Brighton again playing some risky football, but in the end some effective football on the edge of their own 6-yard box. Gallagher had gone on a run, he'd been dispossessed, Dunk was under pressure, found Gross, and I think wisely Pascal Gross decided to hoof the ball downfield and buy Brighton a little bit of a breather. Chilwell kept the ball in to Kovacic, to Felix, now back to Mudryk, who's having a good few minutes, the blonde-haired tattooed Ukrainian. Nice 1-2, back to Gallagher, and again couldn't quite get his shot away. Conor Gallagher, interplay with Mason Mount was pretty, but again your point stands. When the crucial moment came, Gallagher just seemed to have a moment of doubt in his mind, and that's all it took.
Yeah, it just reacts a little bit, you know, after the horse has bolted kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if he'd have just really anticipated that ball back, he would have been that 6 or 8 inches further ahead. He could have toe poked that into the bottom corner.
We will take you to Molineux in a moment, but the ball is back in play again, with Brighton still leading here at Chelsea 2-1, and we're in to the final 10 minutes. At TalkSport Live, keep your tweets coming in from around the world. Plenty more to read out in a moment. Chilwell into the gloves of Sanchez. Let's take you back to Molineux, where Wolves were leading 1-0.
Nice work from Matthias Nunes. He's gone past 3-4 players, gets inside the penalty area, squares in, it's knocked in, and it's Yi Chang Hwang that makes it 2-0 for Wolves.
John Howick, thank you. Wolves 2, Brentford 0. Hwang with the second. Cruising to 3 points there.
Yeah, well, you know, you get what you deserve in football matches, and I think Lopetegui's done an amazing job. He gets criticised for being a bit aggressive on the sidelines, but it's kind of overspills into the team's performance, so that urgency, that up and at 'em attitude.
Mind you, Stellini and De Zerbi can hardly talk, can they, among others? That was a bit ugly for a second as Chelsea tried to play the ball out from the back. Attempted clearance, ricocheted off a Brighton player, briefly over Kepa's head, but it's spanned back into the gloves of Kepa, and we play on. Again, Chelsea trying to come forward on the far stand side through Mudryk. Ball ricochets off Gross, back to McCullough Mudryk. Infield from Mount to Kovacic. What will he do? Answer is play a little 1-2. Loose ball to João Felix, back to Mudryk. Dunk with another strong interception. Club captain with a good block, chested it down, and now Brighton can try to counter themselves. Estepinian couldn't quite take the ball in his stride, the Ecuadorian fullback, as well as he would have liked, but Dunk helps tidy things up, aided by McAllister. Over the top to Gross, who's in loads of space. Badiashile doesn't come to challenge. Chilwell's caught inside. Poor from Chelsea. Loads of space for Brighton again. Infield ball from March on this occasion, though, was poor. He was trying to feed Enciso. Why wouldn't you? On the game he's having. Until the last ball, that was good. But yeah, so poor from Chelsea.
The game is stretched now because Chelsea are desperate. They're going into positions that are false positions. It's become ragged, and they're just hoping for the best.
Better there from Gallagher. Reece James went down, tried to get a free kick, wasn't given, but Gallagher kept going. Finds Ziyech, who's dispossessed. Excellent challenge on the floor by Pervis Estepinian. Up to McAllister, who trots forward. Player down, and in pain is Julio Enciso, who's holding his face. He is now up at least, but he was writhing around for a moment. Not sure what there was in this or not. We'll hopefully get a replay, Trevor.
Well, the game stopped, and he seems to have had some blow to the side of his face, but it doesn't seem to be any. Easily there.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in that. That's not the best moment of the day from Julio Enciso. What was the best moment was just that glorious strike about 10-15 minutes ago. That is the difference between the teams. And is that McAllister or is that Webster? It's Webster, isn't it? They both actually weirdly look slightly similar despite their very different countries of birth. The Brit and the Argentine, but actually both quite pasty.
Yeah, they are a bit.
But you're right, it is Webster
like.
who's down. It is Webster who's down.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be okay. Possibly just a bit of cramp.
Yeah, I think he came back into this game, didn't he? He missed the previous match, and he's obviously had a bit of doubt about his fitness.
But he's looking okay. Again, the big screen shows a very frustrated looking Todd Bowley, who's shaking his head. He's got his sports jacket on, and yeah, he is not a happy man. Another player gone down. Is that receiving treatment? It is. Different one. Webster's receiving treatment further up the field. Another one on the edge of the D, I think, is down. Goodness me. Clock ticks on, so I'll just bring you up to date elsewhere. Still Chelsea 1, Brighton 2 here. Everton 1, Fulham 3. Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 2. Wolves 2, Brentford 0. Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 2. Still plenty of time though to run in that one after a 15-minute delay due to crowd congestion. Villa beat Newcastle 3-0 earlier. Man City Leicester to come at 5:30 UK. Tom Rennie and Eddie McGoldrick. Now Webster, I think, is going to struggle potentially to continue. He's hobbling his way off. Either way, he'll need treatment off the field because, of course, he's received it on it, so must leave the field of play. And to put it mildly, Trevor, he's not hurrying off, is he?
He's not, but he's dragging that left leg along there, and I think it's a severe cramp that he's got.
So we are going to see a change, and I'm just going to confirm to you who that change is going to be. It will be Jan-Paul van Hecker, the blonde-haired Dutchman, who is going to come on. Solid squad player, gets the odd outing. Wearing 29, Van Hecker will come on to try and ride the ship home for the away team, Trav.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, to be quite honest. I'm quite looking forward to this next 10 minutes to see how he looks on the football field.
I think he's kind of a bit of a utility defender who can play full-back or centre-half. He's not as imposing and tall. Probably a bit more mobile, we'll see.
Oh, he's gone straight in as a like-for-like centre-back. So just got to see out this next 3 or 4 minutes of normal time. There will, of course, be additional time. We don't know that yet.
Chelsea, of course, have got their return leg at home against Real Madrid to come on Tuesday, 2 down. Then they've got Brentford in a West London derby. Then that trip to Arsenal finish their season with Man City away and Newcastle at home. So it's a tough old run-in, to be honest with you. 3 of the top 4, Real Madrid, a derby, some relegation strugglers. Like you said, I'm not quite sure how many of those on this evidence Chelsea will win.
Well, not on this performance. I'm just looking at them, their lack of movement or predictable movement. Chilwell's done the same run every time during this game, from wide on the left into the middle of the field, into an attacking area when he can.
Better from Reece James there, nice ball, and painfully close to João Felix. Mount wasn't far away either, but João Felix, edge of the 6-yard box, good run from Reece James, good ball as well, and Felix could not quite get there. Could he have thrown a bit more at it?
John, this season's going down as the nearly season, isn't
really
it?
Is.
I was nearly there. Why have you not got a centre forward? That's a centre forward tap-in, isn't it?
Yep, nobody was quite aware enough to attack that space, or you could argue maybe hungry enough to attack that space. As a result, we stayed 2-1 Brighton and tick toward 88 minutes. Conor Gallagher wins the ball. Was he fouled there by Gross? Gross says he didn't make contact and Gallagher made a meal of it. He's saying dive. Free kick given. Is there going to be a yellow card or just the free kick? I think just the free kick. But I tell you, a person who has been yellow carded a moment ago was when all those injuries were going on and we went elsewhere. Rob Sanchez was yellow carded for time wasting. The keeper then did take an eternity to get the game back underway after Webster had taken an eternity to go off.
No, he's got to be careful. Time's literally over now, so what he will be concentrating on is keeping this free kick out, which is up by the byline. Great opportunity for Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea a goal down, 90 seconds plus time added on to go on Premier League Live. Plenty of blue-shirted players are up. Chilwell's delivery. Oh, awful. Straight down the throat of Enciso. He was caught in 2 minds regarding his clearance, though. He couldn't quite find Estepinian. Gallagher gets a second bite at the cherry, bends it in, and Lewis Dunk, calm as you like, just chests it back to his goalkeeper Sanchez. Danger averted.
The crowd are groaning at this effort from Chelsea. The terrible ball in from Chilwell, which was floated towards Reece James at the edge of the box. It was so slow, it was never going to get there. It was intercepted. and then a feeble cross into the box, and the ball is chested back by the centre-back to Sanchez in goal.
Apart from that, it was great.
It's not thrilling stuff, is it, if you're a Chelsea fan these days? 6
additional minutes, though, we're hearing, are going to be shown up on the board in a moment. 6 minutes for Frank Lampard to try to get something to re-kickstart his second tenure. So far, defeat to Wolves, defeat to Real Madrid, and down at the moment to Brighton. Antibiotics, what a great Twitter handle. Currently poolside in Saint-Tropez, loving your commentary of Chelsea and Brighton. Very nice. Steve Waterhouse, Steve and Jody driving down I-25 through Colorado. Come on City, we'll be champions again. Beautiful picture of some snowy landscapes that they've still got in the mountains at this stage of the year. That TalkSport Live, keep your tweets coming in. Confirmation, yes, of those 6 minutes. Here's Hakim Ziyech. The Moroccan infield to James, who was losing his footing. Estupiñán makes the challenge. It's at least behind for a corner to Chelsea. Not particularly exciting or well worked, but they do have a corner kick. Prince Chukwuemeka, listening via City FM in Accra in Ghana. Baffles me that Chelsea have got a proven striker in Aubameyang on the bench, and he's not even on yet. Totally surprised by that, but loving the commentary. And Prince Chukwuemeka also says, come on, your Gunners. We stay. And makes the challenge. It's at least he will be top of the league, Arsenal. For another match week or two at least, maybe for the rest of the season, we'll see. And a nice picture there of Prince Chukwuemeka in his car listening, wearing his Arsenal away kit as well. Good work at TalkSport Live. Corner here to Chelsea, one of the 6 additional minutes negotiated by Brighton. Short corner, attempted flick on by João Felix, but Brighton dealt with it and get it to halfway.
Well, it's powder puff again, isn't it, from Chelsea? A poor ball in from the corner kick. And easy for Brighton to clear it, and again the ball ends up back up the field. Kepa's got it, knocks it out to Chilwell, and Chelsea have to try and build again.
So they're looking at a possible 12th league loss of the season, Chelsea here, and I don't think I got your take on the fact that this would be 1 win in 15 against top half teams.
Well, it tells you everything, doesn't it? That they are lightweight. It's not a competitive team at Chelsea just now. And it's not just the fact that they've not got a centre forward. There's players who are underperforming, who have come to the club and not got the heart and soul into this club as yet.
And maybe some who were there have been affected adversely as well and are struggling to re-show their former glories as well. It's affected them almost in every way. Here come Brighton through Alexis McAllister in stark contrast. He's the kind of player, funnily enough, that Chelsea have been linked with. If you're McAllister, I think you'd think twice about making that move, wouldn't you, no matter what money's thrown at you or not? Does the modern footballer just go anyway?
I'll tell you what, McAllister's going to be well sought after this summer. He's been absolutely terrific today. Mature, knows what he's doing, plays along with Caicedo. What a pairing and partnership they are. Brighton have unearthed players over the last few years, which it's been a bit of embarrassment to the other Premier League sides.
Well, look at all these Ecuadorians, the Paraguayan today. I mean, it's fabulous, isn't it? This talent from around the globe in football-loving countries, but not ones that necessarily bring that much to the Premier League normally. It's brilliant.
Going back a few years, Wigan used to do this.
Yeah.
Wigan used to do it, and Brighton have taken over that mantle.
It's a really good point. I remember when they first of all had the 3 Spaniards, and at that point that was very kind of eclectic. Caicedo appeals for a penalty, but I think that came off the backside of Reece James, so no penalty kick wisely given. Referee Jones well placed. Brighton downfield again though, and again hassling and harrying Chelsea. Gallagher under pressure from Mitoma, and Cisse putting pressure on Chalobah. All he can do is go back to his goalkeeper and skipper Kepa Arrizabalaga. Play to him.